50 to 80 centimeter in diameter. 5 to 7 petals. So it only will be 5, 6, and 7. Not more, not less. Rafflesia is a parasitic. He parasite on the horse vine. 藤它寄生在葡萄科藤。Where is the same family with the textra stigma vine is the same family with the grape. And this vine here is a creeper. I know it's a grape family, but local they don't produce any grapefruit. You don't sit and wait, it will never produce the grape. It's the same family. Okay, I know you're happy. As this liana is a creeper, so flower will not only bloom on the ground. Rafflesia can be blooming up at the canopy there. Oh, don't happy, you will not see it. But once it's up there, when it's raining, he will capture the water. Too heavy, what happens? Too windy? The petal will be broken and it will drop. So mostly they will not promote the flower once it's up there. Like a big size like me up there, imagine it. Dinosaur up at the canopy there, 80 centimeter. You think I can shed like that, like on the ground? It fall. It will not last then probably 2 hours. Rafflesia is a unisex. There will be a male and female. When there is a male and female, what happened? Auntie, we ask the oldest. They have experience. Auntie, when there is a 雌花和雄花，它是要什么？Ah, see? Make love. Very simple from auntie. So they need a pollinator. So the carrion flies. Carrion flies, that means 水果苍蝇. They need to male. Female. So on the same time, there must be 2 flowers that blooming on a very near distance. So it will be higher percentage for the pollinator to help them to pollinate. Right? So the smallest carrion fly, they can fly very long because they're very light. The movement will be very fast. For the beetle or anything bigger size, you will need a lot of stock. That means before they're reaching the opposite sex, male or female, they can drop the pollen before they help it to pollinate. Rafflesia doesn't have any root, any stem, any leaf. This is a 1 month Rafflesia bud, and this is the vine that he parasite on. 1 to 7 months, you looking at the same dark, ugly coconut. Not handsome, not beautiful, gentlemen, not sexy. And he needs 8 to 9 months just to become a mature bud. Okay? When they're turning mature bud, it will be more sexy and beautiful. That means it's easily spotted by all the wildlife. It will be easily eaten. They're taking almost 16 to 18 hours fully bloom. It's like packaging. It will be 1 by 1. So it must be on the space that is open, so they can bloom. If they bloom, this is a tree or bark or anything, a liana. If they bloom, one petal stuck, the other will stuck. It will not bloom. Okay, so it must be on the area that is open and clear for them. When they fully bloom, the petal will be 180 degrees. They last for you to see only 2 hours. Then they die. And they last for you to see maximum 1 week. Until, yes, 2 hours only. So after the flower fully bloom, every hour you're taking the flower, the photo for the same flower, it will be totally different color, size, including the smell will become less and less because they are dying. This is the window for the flower. The spiky thing here is a stigma. Stigma for the flower, and below the stigma, the round thing here is actually 360 degrees. It's a disc of Rafflesia where it will be curved down. Underneath the curve there will be a column there, a space, where all these carrion fly, they fly over here and they crawl in. And the pollen is underneath there. Just like orchid, there is a small space for them to go underneath it. After the pollination happens, the flower will bloom and die 6 to 8 months. They will produce thousands of the mature fruit there. It's very micro. They still need to disperse by the animal. So the animal need to eat it and spread to the vine. So on that same area, it will be highest percentage the next generation, because they move more on that section. But there we will have other place also. Later on you see two flower, 55 and 57 cm secondary bloom. And you see the whole complete life cycle for the Rafflesia. From 1 month, 8 months, 9 months, everything. Flower that bloom. 9 days, flower that bloom and die. 9 days ago. Flower that bloom and die 8 to 9 months ago. To the one that less than 1 week old, Rafflesia bud. You will see everything. That means there's no season for them to bloom. It depends. The mortality for this flower must be 16 to 18. Too hot die, too cold die. It's very fragile. And when we see the flower, you're not allowed to hold it. No touching. Be careful when you're taking the photo. Yeah? Any question before we make a move in?